Hi everyone, this is Yana, and in this video I have a very simple and easy to do Mother's Day card. I actually have two different cards and I will show you how I made both of them. So today I'm starting with something rather unexpected. This is a very thin and even a little bit see-through notebook paper. So I have this large notebook that I use to write down some ideas that I see on Pinterest, that I use to draw some card sketches, and just basically I use it for my card inspiration. So as I was working on a theory of mine that I had, I stamped a design on this notebook paper and I thought, hey, it looked really nice. So that's how the idea for this card was born, and that's why I'm using this particular paper for this card today. Now I also have some Simon Says Stamp inks. These are dye inks, and I also have a couple of stamps from Simon Says Stamp as well. Now I'm starting out with this sentiment from the Flower Garden stamp set from Simon Says Stamp and Mama Elephant, and I'm going to start stamping it with in some black ink. Now never mind my dirty palm there. You'll be surprised, but when I'm stamping and I tend to get really messy, so I use my hands or the palm of my hand to wipe down my stamps, and you'll see that there I'm doing it there. So I use it to quickly clean my stamps, and as long as the ink is not permanent, you know, I'm good. So I don't mind having my hands dirty while I'm stamping, but just to let you know, this is just an ink on my palm there. So I've stamped that just for you sentiment using some black pigment ink from Tsukineko, and now I'm moving on to this mom sentiment from the Simon Says Stamp Mother's Day set, and I'm using the dull pink dye ink. Now this sentiment consists of two lines, so there's this large mom and then there's this little addition to that sentiment. Now I only want to stamp mom, so I'm actually going to wipe out the rest of the ink that I have on my stamp. And if you don't want to wipe it down, you can actually mask that area of your stamp with masking tape or maybe a little bit of washi tape so that you don't have to wipe anything down. But I didn't mind wiping that portion down, so that's what I did. And now I'm moving on to stamping the rest of my card. So I've started out with this large flower stamp from the Flower Garden stamp set, and notice that I stamped that image in a triangular fashion. So I have three images stamped, and if you look closely you'll notice that they form a triangle around my sentiment. So this is the main principle that I'm going to use for my card. I'm going to be stamping several different images in various colors of ink, and I'm going to be creating visual triangles around that sentiment in the middle. So I've stamped that flower in black, and now I'm moving on to the next color, which is that dull pink, the same color that I used for the mom in the central portion of my card. Now I'm moving on to the next flower, to the medium-sized flower from that Flower Garden stamp set from Simon Says Stamp and Mama Elephant. And once again, I'm using black ink first, and I'm stamping three flowers in a triangular fashion around the sentiment. Now after I'm done with the black ink, I'm moving on to the yellow ink. So I've put aside that pink. I'm not going to be using I won't be using it anymore for this card, but I do want to add some more color, so I'm using this yellow, which is a sunshine color ink. I'm stamping the flowers, forming a triangle again. Now I had these little bits and pieces of unstamped areas on my card, so I went in with a smaller flower and I filled those in. Once again, I stamped them 3 times and formed a triangle around my sentiment. Now I also have this really nice surf blue ink from Simon Says Stamp, and I thought that my card could use some more blue, some extra blue color on my card. So I've picked out this leaf from the exact same Flower Garden stamp set from Simon Says Stamp, and I'm stamping that little leaf. I'm actually using both leaves from this set, the larger and the smaller leaf, and I'm simply adding a little leaves here and there to my card, once again in 3 areas to create a visual triangle around my around my sentiment. And the thing is, I thought that this would make a really cool Mother's Day card for a mother who is a teacher. Now, my mother is a teacher, and she is very familiar with the grid paper like that, with the notebook grid paper. And I thought I'd make a card like that for my mother for this year's Mother's Day. So this is the idea behind the card, and I really hope that you enjoyed. And please do give this technique a try. Go test out some different papers. You don't have to use cardstock all the time. Just go out and experiment. Of course, you will have to use cardstock for the card base to put that notebook paper on, and that's what I did on this card. I created a cardstock card base, and then I adhered my stamped panel to my card front. So this is it for today, and I really hope that you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and share my videos with your crafty friends. Thank you.